Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday morning. I'm doing really good today, guys. Today is the day where we get the official Onana pictures. I cannot wait to see him in that Manchester United shirt, guys. So excited about this one. You know how excited I am about Onana. So let's start the show off with some positivity, as always, on a nice morning show. Let's talk about Onana really quickly, but first and more importantly, please do make sure to smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Right, let's jump straight into it. So there's a story coming out from Laurie Whitwell, who obviously reports for The Athletic, a very good journalist, and he is reporting the following. Onana has signed his Manchester United contract and is booked to fly to New York today to join his new teammates. Guys, this is just the news we wanted. There were so many people worried about whether Onana would make it on the pre-season tour, and we can confirm that he is going. Onana will be on the plane. He won't travel with the rest of the team because most of the players are already there. They're already landed in New York. But Onana will be flying out to America today. I think he's flying out with Rashford and Bruno. I saw apparently Rashford and Bruno didn't travel with the rest of the team. Anyway, the main taking point here, guys, is Onana will be on that flight to America today to catch up with the rest of the team. And it goes on to say that Onana should be in the squad to face Arsenal on Saturday. So if anybody's unaware, we're playing Arsenal in a pre-season match this coming Saturday. Of course, we will have a watch along for you on the channel. And this should be the first opportunity to see Onana play for Manchester United. So really positive. We are expecting to get the official pictures of him from Manchester United in probably the next few hours, but we will, of course, be live as soon as that happens. Welcome to everybody who is joining in the chat. Hope everyone is doing well. So, yeah, we will go live as soon as we get the pictures of him in the shirt. I know everybody knows he's a player now, but still, we'll still do the video just so we can kind of all share that moment together. The story goes on to say that, that he's got his visa. Everything's fine. He signed his contract. Everything is good. There's no worrying about whether some people in the chat before were saying, is he going to be able to get a visa because of his, he had like a doping ban, didn't he, in football? He's got his visa, guys. He's going to America. All is good. So really happy about that one. Really positive. I think it is absolutely essential that he is on that plane for the pre-season tour. And our prayers have been answered, guys. Onana will be in America for the pre-season tour. Very positive. Super happy about that one. But let's move on to another story. Let's talk about Rasmus Højlund really quickly. It seems like a lot of you are now really up for Rasmus Højlund. There was a bit of, let's call it uncertainty. There was a bit of uncertainty around the Rasmus Højlund deal to begin with. There were some people saying, he's not good enough. He only scored 9 goals. I'm worried. Why are we buying him? And it seems like the fan base is kind of coming a little bit more clearer that they do want Rasmus Højlund now, which is really good because at the end of the day, guys, he's a young player. We need to get behind him. He's only 20 years of age. He very much is a developmental player and somebody that Erik ten Hag will work his magic on. But there is a couple of stories that have come out in the last 24 hours surrounding the Rasmus Højlund transfer. So there's a journalist in Italy who is reporting the following. Rasmus Højlund has recently spoken with Atalanta CEO Luca Picassi to make him understand once more of his desire to move to Manchester United. So apparently Rasmus Højlund has spoken to the Atalanta CEO, right, and ultimately said, I want to go to Manchester United. So he's all but handed in a transfer request. Okay, he hasn't publicly put out that he's not going to play for the club. He wants to leave, but he's apparently had this conversation with the Atalanta CEO and has said to him, ultimately, I want to go to Manchester United. It's his boyhood club, remember, guys. Rasmus Højlund is a boyhood Manchester United fan. So very positive. It's good that he's trying to make these efforts as well, because when there's a player pushing as well, it really does help, guys. It really does help get the sale moving along. And then the Independent in the UK, which is a newspaper here in the UK, are reporting Manchester United are now in advanced talks with Atalanta over a deal for Rasmus Højlund. The two clubs are currently negotiating how much of the fee will be made up in add-ons. It goes on to say that the initial quote was £80 million for Rasmus Højlund. There is now hope that a deal can be struck around 60 million. So it looks like we'll get him for around 60 million, which I'm happy about. I think 60 million is a fair price. Maybe a little bit high, but where we are in this current point, guys, I don't think we can be picky. 50 million plus 10 in add-ons, I'll take that. So yeah, it does look like we will get Rasmus Højlund, guys. And as I just said, he has spoken to the Atalanta CEO and kind of he's pushing for the move, guys. That's the ultimate. That's the gist of it. Rasmus Højlund is pushing for Manchester United, which is exactly what we want. It really is. And then we've got another little bit of a story coming in from another Italian journalist, the same one who we've had a few sources from, Alfredo Padula. He was really good around the Onana situation, and he's been really good around Rasmus Højlund. And he says, Erik ten Hag loves Rasmus Højlund and believes he is the perfect player for his tactics, and he's sure that Højlund will establish himself quickly in the Premier League. So that's really positive to hear. At the end of the day, guys, Erik ten Hag wants him. That's all that matters to me. We can be unsure. Erik ten Hag's the boss. If he wants Rasmus Højlund, if he thinks that he's going to go on to be a superstar, then we've got to trust in him. We really, really do. He's earned that trust. Yeah, so there's people talking about Matej Kovar in the chat. We will talk about that really, really quickly. If anybody's unaware who Matej Kovar is, he is a really young goalkeeper. I believe he's 20 years of age. He was on loan last season in the Czech Republic League. 23 years of age, sorry. Looks really, really good. He played in the pre-season match yesterday against Lyon. He looked really, really solid. And we have got a story coming out about him because if anybody is unaware, he did not travel with the rest of the team to New York last night. He wasn't on the plane. So Simon Stone, who writes for the BBC, is reporting that Manchester United expect Matej Kovar to go out on loan, hence not travelling in the squad. So it looks like he's going to be loaned out again, guys. It doesn't look like we're going to sell him. Maybe he'll go back to Sparta Prague again. If anybody's unaware, last season he went on loan to Sparta Prague in the Czech Republic League. He won the league there. I think he got the golden glove, the clean sheet record as well. So yeah, it looks like Matej Kovar will be loaned out, guys. So yeah, let me know in the comment section how you feel about that one. I think a loan is a good move. I really do. He does look like a good goalkeeper. He's only 23 years of age, and I see no reason to sell him. Like, what's the point? Unless you're going to get 10 million for him, 15 million for him, why would we sell a young, promising goalkeeper? So I think loaning him out for one more year makes sense. Obviously, you've got Onana. It looks like Zion Suzuki is going to be joining Manchester United. And then you've also got, who else have we got? Tom Heaton. I don't know. If it was up to me, I would get rid of Tom Heaton, get rid of Dean Henderson, and have Matej Kovar, Onana, and Zion Suzuki as the three goalkeepers. That's what I'd do personally. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. What would you do with Matej Kovar? Do you think he should be loaned? Do you think he should be sold? Do you think he should get a chance at Manchester United? What would you guys do? We've got over 300 people watching the show already this morning, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please do make sure to smash a like on the video really, really quickly. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. It doesn't cost any money. Completely free and really helps out the channel. And just to say as well, guys, I will be reading out some of your questions into the second half of the show. So if you do have any questions you want to get in, just put the letter Q in front of your message and put your message, and I'll try and read out as many as I can. I'm always happy to do questions and make it as interactive as possible ultimately. But yeah, Matej Kovar looks like he'll be going out on loan, guys. So yeah, I hope that answers all the people in the chat who are wondering about this player. And we've got another story about an outgoing. And I think you guys will like this one because this player, Eric Bailly, we're talking about, I really, really like the guy. I do. He's just... The thing with Eric Bailly, okay? One game, he'll have a great game. The next game, he'll give away a penalty and get a red card. You know, he's one of those types of players. He hasn't got like a middle ground. He's either really good or really bad. But anyway, Eric Bailly has not travelled with the rest of the Manchester United squad. So this is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. Eric Bailly is not part of the Manchester United squad travelling for the USA tour. He's out of the project and expected to leave. Alex Telles also out of the list too, as he's set to join Al Nassr once documents will be signed. So for anybody who missed that yesterday, Alex Telles is joining Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, obviously where Cristiano Ronaldo plays at the same club. He'll be joining for £4 million, Alex Telles. And Fabrizio has also confirmed that Eric Bailly will also be leaving the club. So Eric Bailly and Telles are gone. That's two players gone. David De Gea's gone. Phil Jones has gone. Tuanzebe's gone. So we are slowly starting to get rid of some of the deadwood, but not quite fast enough for my liking. So far, obviously, we've got Phil Jones, Tuanzebe, David De Gea, Alex Telles, and also Eric Bailly looks like set to be moving. So yeah, I think it's positive. He gets injured too much. He's made of glass. He didn't have a great loan spell in the French league last season, from what I've heard. Did anybody see that tackle he did on someone? He literally like fly kicked somebody in the stomach, and in the chest, and I think they had to go to hospital, and then he was banned for like 15 games or something. He's just an unpredictable player, you know. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I do quite like him, that's the thing, but I definitely think this is the right move. Yeah, so it looks like Eric Bailly will not be a Manchester United player anymore. He didn't travel to New York yesterday with the rest of the squad, and I definitely think this is the right move. I really, really do. I mean, even if you just look at it on the fundamental level of wages, okay? Eric Bailly, Alex Telles, David De Gea, Phil Jones, like we're clearing wages, guys. We really, really are, and that will allow us to spend more money this transfer window. So hopefully, you know, that will help. So for example, Alex Telles was on 100 grand a week. Okay, bear with me here, guys. I'm just reading it all out for you live. Eric Bailly was on 80 grand a week. So already we've cleared 180 grand a week in wages there, right? David De Gea, 375 grand a week. What's that? So we've cleared about 600 grand a week in those three players. Tuanzebe was on 50 grand a week. Yeah, so you get the picture, guys. We've cleared about 750 grand a week by getting rid of David De Gea, Phil Jones, Tuanzebe, Alex Telles, and Eric Bailly. So that's really, really positive. 750 grand per week. What's that a year? Let me just work that out for you really, really quickly. Sorry if people don't like this kind of stuff. Like, I'm quite into all the finances in football, so if it bores you, then I do apologise. But so yeah, from removing those 5 players, guys, from removing David De Gea, Phil Jones, Tuanzebe, Alex Telles, and Eric Bailly, right? We're saving £39 million per season in wages. I mean, just think about that. £39 million. That's incredible. That really, really is. Yeah, it's a great start because our wage bill is so inflated. Pretty much £40 million off the wage bill from getting rid of 5 players who, except for David De Gea, never even played for Manchester United. So really, really positive. I am happy about that. And yeah, I do think these types of conversations are important. And I try and give you all the data as quickly as possible so we're not sat here like on a calculator for hours. But yeah, Eric Bailly is going, Telles is gone, David De Gea is obviously gone, Phil Jones is gone, and Tuanzebe's gone. So really, really positive. I know we don't get transfer fees for them, but still, 40 million saved in wages. That is a hell of a lot of money, guys. 40 million pounds a year. Do you remember that everybody apart from I think Alex Telles had a year left. Eric Bailly had a year left. So our current wage bill, right? You ready for this, guys? Our current wage bill is £193 million per year, okay? If we've just removed 40 million, we've pretty much taken a fifth off of our wage bill. So that's really, really positive. I think it's good. I'm happy about that. So yeah, Phil Jones is obviously gone. Eric Bailly has not travelled with the rest of the squad. We have got the squad list of people that have gone on the tour, and I think there will be a bit of a few surprises in there, to be completely honest with you guys. So we can confirm that Dean Henderson has gone on the plane to New York. So Dean Henderson is in the squad, guys. I'm not sure what to make of that, to be completely honest with you. What does everybody think about that? Let me know in the comment section. It is a bit weird. Why has Dean Henderson gone on the tour? It's not a particularly... It doesn't feel like the right thing to do for me personally. Yeah, I would not have taken Dean Henderson on the tour. I would have let him go to Nottingham Forest. There was one bit of positivity, though, on the travelling squad. Some of you might think this isn't positive, but I think it is. Anthony Martial has travelled with the rest of the squad to New York. So we don't think he's fully fit yet, but he has gone on the plane. So Anthony Martial has gone to New York. He will be part of the games in some capacity. But Dean Henderson's also gone. There is one key name that is missing, okay? Fred. Fred hasn't gone either, guys. Fred's not on the plane. So I think we can all but confirm that Fred is going to leave. So for anybody who missed that, Fred has not travelled with the Manchester United squad to New York and won't be involved in any of the pre-season matches. So make of that what you will. For me personally, I think he's leaving the club. I really, really do. But obviously, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I will keep you updated as we get more and more news. We've got over 450 people watching this morning. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. But yeah, we will keep you updated on Fred. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano said a couple of days ago, guys, that he was 90% sure that Fred will leave the club this summer, which I 100% think is the correct move. Fred definitely will not get any game time, I don't think. If we're signing Amrabat, if we've signed Mason Mount, if we buy all these players, I don't think he's going to get any game time, to be completely honest with you. And at the end of the day, guys, you know that for some reason, all of the Manchester United managers like Scott McTominay. There's something about him that they just like. I know it's difficult for us to understand it. I know we're like, why does he like Scott McTominay? Why did Mourinho like him? Why does, but for some reason, people like Scott McTominay. I don't know whether he's hard-working. I don't know whether he's a good presence on the training ground. I really don't know what it is about Scott McTominay, but he seems untouchable. Yeah, so it's quite strange, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I think the issue with Dean Henderson is, obviously, Nottingham Forest wanted to take him on loan, which is ridiculous, okay? We're not going to loan you Dean Henderson. So I don't know whether this is just a tactic to try and speed up the negotiations. Manchester United are only in America for 2 weeks, I think. So just because Dean Henderson's gone on the plane doesn't mean he's still going to be at the club. Just remember that, guys, okay? I think there's 6 weeks until the transfer window closes. And yeah, there's 6 weeks until the transfer window closes. So him coming on the tour doesn't really mean anything. I'd rather he just left now and we reinvested the money, but I think he can easily come back from the tour and then we'll sell him, you know? So don't feel too negative about this. We come back from the tour on the 31st of July. So literally we're back in 11 days, guys. The players will be back in England in 11 days. So he can easily still leave the club. There's nobody else on the list of players who, I mean, yeah, everyone else has gone. As I said, Anthony Martial's gone. Malacia hasn't gone because he's injured. But other than that, it's all the people you would expect. All of the first team players are there as well. Yeah, we will talk about the sale in a minute, guys. There was so much like fear-mongering last night. Obviously, we did a little bit of a video about it, and I just said, I wasn't fear-mongering at all. I just said, to be honest with you guys, this is one journalist saying one thing, and I bet you in an hour's time, another journalist will come out and completely contradict it, and that just happened. So we will talk about the sale in a minute. As always on this channel, guys, I tell you to take all of these things with a pinch of salt. So just, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit, guys. I do want to get through all of the other stuff first. Otherwise, we just end up talking about the sale forever, and it's just pretty boring and a bit draining, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, we'll move on to the next target. The next topic. I will read out some of your chats in a little bit, guys. So do get your chats in and do make sure you've liked and subscribed on the video. Right. We've gone from some positivity to we're going to go from some positivity to some negativity, okay? Unfortunately. It is a news show. I bring you guys the news. I can't be Mr. Happy all the time. I wish I could be, but you know what it's like being a Manchester United fan. It's not always swings and roundabouts, unfortunately. So, this is coming out from The Athletic, and they are reporting that Manchester United are not openly looking to sell Harry Maguire. So I need to repeat that. Some of you guys might be still half asleep. You haven't had your morning coffee yet. The Athletic are reporting Manchester United are not openly looking to sell Harry Maguire. Mic drop. It goes on to say, though there is a willingness to listen to offers. Okay. So there's two parts of that, right? The first part is all doom and gloom. They're not looking to sell Harry Maguire. But then the second part says they're willing to listen to offers. So I think for this one, I guess it's just a negotiation tactic. If they go out to the press and say, we don't want Harry Maguire anymore, you know, get rid of him, he's rubbish, then nobody's going to buy him, are they, at the end of the day? Obviously, it wasn't the news I was hoping to read this morning, that Manchester United aren't openly looking to sell Harry Maguire. But are Manchester United ever openly looking to sell anybody? Even Donny van de Beek. Have you seen a story saying Manchester United want to sell Donny van de Beek? You don't, do you? You sometimes see Erik ten Hag and him have had a chat and they've agreed that, you know, he can move if the right offer comes in. Like, I don't think we ever really properly push people out of the door, ever. And that's been our problem over the years. Over every single manager we've had over the last kind of 5 or so years, we never are ruthless enough to push people out of the club. And Ten Hag is the only person in recent years who's actually started doing that. And I don't know what it is about Harry Maguire. I don't know why he's not just being pushed out of the club. Again, I don't want to start this anti-Harry Maguire club and all the rest of it. You know, this hate. I'm not here for hate. I'm here for positivity. But I just don't understand how Harry Maguire doesn't get the message. Like, he needs to leave the club for his own career. Not even looking at this on a personal level, but he 100% needs to leave the club, guys. 100%, 1,000%. So I don't know why Manchester United are briefing The Athletic in the UK saying that they're not openly looking to selling him, when they obviously are. Like, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, let's just hope that, you know, that is just a negotiation tactic. As I said, guys, if there's West Ham, Tottenham, Newcastle, all of these clubs interested in Maguire, and they put a story out to the UK media saying that they're willing to sell Harry Maguire, people are going to come in with like £5 million offers, aren't they? So we will have to keep an eye on that one. I will keep you updated as and when I get more news on Harry Maguire, but as it stands, the story that's coming out in the UK is that Manchester United are not looking to sell him. Which, to be honest with you, I think is complete rubbish. If you want my opinion, I think that's complete rubbish. I really, really do. I guess the issue with Harry Maguire is where would he actually move? That's the problem. The only obvious option I can see for Maguire is West Ham, but the wages are the big issue there. Like, he's on 200 grand a week. I think it's actually more. I think it's 240 grand a week now. Yeah, so it is difficult. It is difficult. And of course, we will keep you updated on Harry Maguire as and when we get more news. But as it stands, the story coming out is that Manchester United are not openly looking to selling him. Right, I've gone from the negative. Let's go back to Mr. Happy. You know I like to be positive on my shows. I'm not here to fearmonger or to cause upset. So we've got some. This is a really, really positive story. So I wanted to bring you this one really, really quickly. So this is coming in from a couple of different journalists in the UK, and it is surrounding Kobbie Mainoo. who is a player that I absolutely love and I would love to see get a proper chance for Manchester United next season, okay? So this is coming out in the last couple of hours and it says Kobbie Mainoo has been informed he will be a part of Erik ten Hag's first team squad next season. He'll be kept around the first team this season instead of being sent out on loan. So really, really positive. Kobbie Mainoo will be staying at Manchester United. We won't be sending him out on loan, and the story that's coming out here is that Erik ten Hag ultimately really likes him and he wants to give him some game time. So I think we can expect to see a lot more of Kobbie Mainoo next season. It'll probably be League Cup matches, maybe second half of Champions League games if we're winning, FA Cup matches, you know, late into Premier League games. But the general gist of this here, guys, is Erik ten Hag and Manchester United see Kobbie Mainoo as this incredible potential, right? And they want to keep him close to Manchester United. They don't want to send him out on loan. They want to integrate him into that squad. So I'm really, really happy about that. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. What do you think about Kobbie Mainoo? Do you think he's the real deal? Do you think he can go on to be a future Manchester United player? I think he can. I really, really do. Obviously, he's come through the youth academy as well. He's someone I'm really, really excited about. And I'm just happy that he's getting a chance. I am, because we buy too many players. Do you know what I mean? We haven't brought through that many youth players in a long time. Like, if you look at the spine of our team at the moment, the only player is Rashford. Obviously, there's Greenwood, but he doesn't play. McTominay, not sure. The only player is Rashford, isn't it? There isn't a single... Is there any other youth players? No, there isn't a single other youth player in our first 11. So if we can get Kobbie Mainoo integrated into that team, if he can actually become a prominent player, I think he looks like a beast, guys. If anybody missed the game yesterday against Lyon, he looks like he's put on a bit of muscle. He looks like he's bulked up a bit, and he wasn't getting pushed off the ball. He looked like he was, you know, he looked like he was more physical, and that's exactly what you need going into the Premier League. So I'm really, really excited about Kobbie Mainoo. Yeah, I think he's going to be an absolute beast. I don't want to overhype him and put too much pressure on him. You know, he is still a very young player, guys. He's 18 years of age, but yeah, really, really excited about him. You know, he's from the local area. He's come through the youth academy. He's exactly what we want at Manchester United. It's what Manchester United is, guys. It is. And I do feel like the identity has been a little bit lost over the last couple of years. Like, we bring in people like Sanchez, you know, Ibrahimovic. We bring in all these big name players, which I do like and I did enjoy watching, but yeah, I don't remember the last time when we brought through like a really exciting youth player. It was probably Rashford or Greenwood, wasn't it? But yeah, McTominay, I wouldn't really say he's ever excited me, to be completely honest with you. Elanga, not really. Who else have we had? Dean Henderson, not really. Like, it's pretty much just Rashford, isn't it? And Greenwood, but obviously the whole Greenwood thing's just, yeah, it's kind of taken that excitement away from it. So yeah, I'm really excited about him. I'm not going to overhype him too much. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Kobbie Mainoo get some more game time next season for Manchester United. We've got over 550 people watching today. Absolutely incredible, guys. Please do make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Yeah, we'll get through all the news and then I will come back to the chat and read out some of you guys' comments. We will talk about the sale in a minute as well. If anybody's joining late, please do just rewind the video to the beginning, because I'm not going to go back and repeat things over again. But at the end of the show, I will recap everything we've discussed, okay? So if you are joining late and you're wondering about a certain topic, then just rewind back to the beginning. You can still get involved in the chat. And yeah, right, let's move on to Amrabat. We've got a really positive story about Amrabat, guys, which I wanted to bring to you. So this is coming out from The Independent in the UK, which is, again, a UK newspaper for anybody who isn't based in the UK. So The Independent, it's quite a good newspaper. It's much better than like The Sun or the Daily Mail. I don't know what tier it is, probably tier 2 or tier 3, I'd say. If anybody doesn't know what I mean about the tier system, so like tier 1 is like Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein. Tier 5 is like Give Me Sport or like maybe Talk Sport. So tier 5's the worst, tier 1's the best. I'd probably say The Independent is like tier 2 or tier 3. There is a list somewhere on the internet where you can see somebody's made a list of all the tiers. Anyway, I digress. Oh yeah, somebody in the chat saying Garnacho. I forgot about Garnacho. Yeah, you are right. I have forgotten about Garnacho. I haven't forgotten about Garnacho, guys. He's my favourite player. He literally is. I want to get a Garnacho shirt when the Glazers go. I won't get one now, though. Anyway, let's move on. Right. So on Amrabat, guys, this is coming in from The Independent, which, as I said, is a newspaper in the UK. And The Independent are reporting that United have set up the basics of a deal to sign Fiorentina's midfielder Amrabat. The Reds have been closely linked with the prospect of signing the Moroccan international in recent weeks, amid suggestions they might move for another midfielder. The report claims that Manchester United have made contact with Fiorentina and the wheels have been put in motion. So as it stands, guys, Manchester United are negotiating with Fiorentina over the transfer of Amrabat. Really, really excited about that one, guys. I absolutely love the player. I think he'll be incredible at Manchester United. Do let me know in the comment section what you think about Amrabat. Would you like to see him at Manchester United? It's a massive yes from me, 100%. And then there's another story coming out from a different journalist. So we've had the Independent in the UK, and then we've got another Italian journalist reporting the following. He says, negotiations have sped up this afternoon between Manchester United and Fiorentina for Amrabat. His agent is in Florence to speed things up. So, yeah, it does look like this one is picking up some serious momentum. And I just want to throw this out there, okay? Fred hasn't travelled to America, right? So he's obviously leaving the club. Fred hasn't gone on the plane. Fred is not going to be involved in the US tour. The line that's been put out by all of the different journalists, the BBC, Fabrizio, is that once Manchester United sell a midfielder, Fred, they will then move in for Amrabat. So as it stands, guys, Fred hasn't gone on the plane. Now the negotiations are hotting up with Manchester United and Amrabat. You put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? You get Amrabat. So very, very positive about this one. I do think we'll get an update on... I think Fred will leave probably in the next week or so, and then we will go all out for Amrabat. But as I said, 2 different sources are reporting that Manchester United are deep in negotiations with Amrabat and Fiorentina. Amrabat wants to move. He wants to play with Ten Hag. Obviously, they played together in, was it for Vitesse or Utrecht? I think it was FC Utrecht, wasn't it? Someone will let me know in the chat. But anyway, he used to be coached by Ten Hag. And I think it was kind of where he started his career. So, yeah, it was FC Utrecht. He came through the youth academy there and he played under Ten Hag. And it was kind of his first break before he went on to other clubs. So, yeah, really, really excited about Amrabat, guys. I think he's an absolute quality player. Do let me know in the comment section, though. What do you think about Amrabat? Would you like to see him at Manchester United? I mean, he's not a Frankie de Jong. He's not a Declan Rice, but he's better than Fred. So I know we can't look at life like that. But at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, as long as we improve on what we've got, I'm happy. And I do think that Amrabat is an improvement on Fred. I don't know what's going on with Donny van de Beek. He did go on the plane yesterday, guys. So I don't know. He did do an interview after the game, though, and he said that he wasn't sure what his future kind of held. You do have to remember, though, just because they're on the America tour doesn't mean they can't sign for another club. Yeah? They have medical facilities in other countries. They don't have to do it in Manchester. So say Fred's going to go to Fulham. He could do his medical in America, do all the press shots in America, and then still sign for Fulham, you know? So just because people are going on the plane doesn't mean they're going to be still at the club. Like Dean Henderson, I'm all but certain Dean Henderson will leave. Donny van de Beek, I think he'll leave. Fred, I think he'll leave. Other than that, I'm just looking for our squad. I think if I'm being completely honest and realistic with you here, guys, looking at the squad that travelled yesterday, obviously Eric Bailly is going to go, Tellez is going to go, or has gone. Of the people who are still in that squad now, I'm looking at it, I think the only 3 that will probably leave will be Dean Henderson, Donny van de Beek, Fred, and maybe Brandon Williams. What does everybody think about that? I know everybody wants Harry Maguire out. I know everybody wants Scott McTominay. Some people want Scott McTominay out, but I can't see it happening, to be honest. I think the only outgoings that we'll see now are Dean Henderson, maybe Brandon Williams, Donny van de Beek, and Fred. And obviously Alex Tellez and Eric Bailly. But other than that, I think we're probably going to have to be stuck with it. I think we'll get loan offers for Harry Maguire, but I think that's ridiculous, personally. I wouldn't personally loan out... I wouldn't loan out Harry Maguire. I think that's stupid. But do let me know in the comments section, guys. Would you loan out Harry Maguire if that was the only option? Would you release him from his contract? What would you do? Yeah. I was saying this on a stream the other day, and if you think I'm talking absolute rubbish, please do come back at me in the comments, because that's what this channel's here for. It's not a one-way conversation. I was saying I honestly would let Harry Maguire go on a free transfer. I would. But hear me out here. If it meant that we didn't have to pay his wages, which are... Let me just double check his wages for you. His wages are absolutely ridiculous. So Harry Maguire he's on 240 grand a week, okay? And what's that times 52 weeks in a year? Harry Maguire is on 12.5 million pounds a year, okay? I genuinely would let Harry Maguire leave for free at this point. As long as we didn't have to pay off his contract. if that meant he could leave, I would genuinely let him go. My reasoning for this is, you'd say £12.5 million per year, which is a hell of a lot of money. I know we obviously want a fee for him, but if nobody's going to pay for him, what's the point in loaning him? If we loan him out, we still have to pay for half of his wages, maybe even more, you know? So you loan him out to somewhere, he leaves, and then you still have to pay his wages. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I genuinely would let him go for either a really small fee or for free, as long as it meant we didn't have to pay off his contract, we didn't have to give him like money to leave, because I just think it's the best for the player. And like, I'm not in this rational anti-Harry Maguire club where I'm like, he's rubbish, get him out of my club. I just honestly think it's the best thing for everybody. I think it's the best thing for his career, the best thing for us. And I genuinely, I'm not trying to be funny, I genuinely would rather have Johnny Evans as the 5th choice centre-back than Harry Maguire. Purely because Johnny Evans is going to be on about a fifth of what Harry Maguire's on. And our main issue here, guys, is our wage budget. So, yeah, that's my take on it. Do let me know in the comment section what you think about that one. Would you let Harry Maguire go for free? Yeah, most of you are saying you'd let him go for free. I just think at the end of the day, like, the kind of relationship is ruined now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to see him on the bench looking miserable. And then, you know, he's just going to be miserable. And every game it's going to be like, oh, like if we lose, it'd be like, oh, do you think that taking the captaincy of Harry Maguire was the right decision? You know, it's going to be all stuff like that. And I just can't be bothered with it. I just want positivity. I don't want to be constantly talking about, was it the right decision to take the captaincy against Harry Maguire? And seeing all like these TalkSport pundits like, Harry Maguire's been treated so badly by the Manchester United fans. You know, they're just talking absolute rubbish, to be completely honest with you. They don't even support Manchester United. They probably don't even watch Manchester United. Then you just see clips constantly all over the internet of these experts like, Harry Maguire is a world-class player. I don't know why he's being treated so badly. And it's just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of talking about it. I want him out, to be honest. And I want him out because I want the best for his career. We've got our first super chat of the day coming from Dimmy. Thank you very much, Dimmy. Dimmy says, Maguire is like the Glazers, puts in nothing and takes out fortunes. Exactly. Exactly that. He does. As I just said, guys, he's on £12.5 million a year. 12.5 million. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I know that's not his fault. He didn't ask for that contract, but 12.5 million. He's getting paid. Look, before we move on to the next topic, just listen to this. Harry Maguire is getting paid double the amount of Martinez. Double. Martinez is on 6 million a year. Lindelof is on 6 million a year. Dallow's on 4 million a year. Harry Maguire is on £12.5 million per year. Like, just let him go. Let him go for free if that's the only way to get rid of him. As long as we don't have to pay off his contract, let him go to another club. It's the best thing for everybody. I want the best for Harry Maguire. I want him to go get in that Euros. I want him to win the Euros for England. Obviously, I'm English. I support England. Go and get in the Euro squad. Like, I just want him to go. I do. Anyway, that's my rant. Yeah, everybody in the chat saying let him go for free. I mean, honestly, if a rival fan watched this or somebody who doesn't watch Manchester United, they'd be like, oh, these Manchester United fans are idiots. Like, they want Harry Maguire to go. He's a world-class player. You know, he got to the Europa League final and he got to the Euros final. It's like, I don't care what he did for another club. For Manchester United, he's not been good enough. He hasn't. Plain and simple. I know it's not his fault we paid £80 million for him, but how many games did he play last season? Like 10 games. And he's just sat on the bench looking miserable, coming out saying he doesn't need to prove himself. Like, it's just not a good person to have around the club. So anyway, that's my rant of the chat. Yeah, that's my rant of the chat. You know, I don't usually do negativity and I'm not in some kind of hate club against players. This isn't a hate thing at all. I just honestly think this is the right decision for everybody. But yeah, do let me know in the comment section if you think I'm talking absolute rubbish. Please do let me know and we can obviously have that conversation, because this channel is for conversation. It's for differing opinions. It's not just my opinion. I obviously want you guys' opinions. And we've got over 600 people in the chat today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video really, really quickly and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to join the members club, I'll put a link for it in the chat now. I think it's £2 a month or $2.99 a month. Any support for the channel is obviously really appreciated. So if you are in a position, you can either hit the $sign or follow the link in the live chat. Right, let's move on to the next story though, guys. So it's been a really positive show this morning, guys. I am feeling happy, and we are going to talk about the sale super, super quickly, okay? I know people are sick of the sale, but I saw so much stuff after we went offline yesterday. We did a little bit of a talk about it last night, guys. Obviously, there was this story coming out from Mike Keegan saying that the takeover might be paused. And that Sheikh Jassim and I can't remember exactly what it was, but the headline was that it might be paused, right? And then you saw literally every single person on Twitter, every single YouTube channel coming out like, the sale is over, the sale has been cancelled, the Glazers are staying forever. And it was like, there was just this wave of negativity off the back of one person's story, okay? And I said on my video yesterday, I don't make out to be this almighty being who knows everything, because I've always said to you guys, the information I get from the same places you can get. I don't pretend that I get it from anywhere else. All the information I bring to you is sourced from the same sources you could find yourself. Right. And I said to you on yesterday's video, I said, this has come out, you know, Mike Keegan has said that the sale might be paused. And I said, guys, within 24 hours, we'll have another story saying something completely different. So take everything with a pinch of salt. And albeit, literally within 2 hours of me going out for dinner, right? There's a story coming out from Ben Jacobs, who some people like and some people dislike. Most of you dislike him because he's always said the Glazers might stay, right? Literally an hour after this happens, an hour after all of these other Twitter people are all saying the sale's over, the sale's been cancelled, these are all the headlines, Ben Jacobs comes out and says the following: I understand that the Manchester United sale process has not been paused, even though it's true that both Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe feel somewhat in limbo. There is frustration at the lack of communication, but neither group plans to pull out. I mean, there you go, guys. All right? As I said, you get Mike Keegan, who writes for the Daily Mail. Everybody's literally like, oh, the sale's over, I'm so upset, right? Not you guys, I just mean some of the other things you see on the internet. And then within an hour, you have another journalist completely contradicting him, saying that the sale has not been paused, both people aren't going to pull out, both people still want to buy the club. I mean, what more do you really need? Like, it's so frustrating. It really, really is. But anyway, let's jump into what Ben Jacobs has said really, really quickly. So the headline is, the sale has not been paused, guys. The sale is going ahead, or they're at least still exploring it. The sale process has not been paused, even though it's true both Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe feel a little bit somewhat in limbo. There is frustration at the lack of communication, but both parties will not pull out. So as it stands, guys, both Sheikh Jassim, both Sir Jim Ratcliffe will not be pulling out of the takeover. And yeah, it hasn't been paused. Obviously, it's slowed down. That's obvious, but it's not been paused. And he goes on to say, he says, Ratcliffe has publicly confirmed he's still in the process. Sheikh Jassim feel the ball has been put in the Glazers' court for weeks, but they do now have everything ready. Listen to this, guys. Sheikh Jassim now has everything ready from a legal and logistical perspective to start the completion process if chosen. So, guys, they're still working behind the scenes. Stuff is still happening. And the one thing I want you to understand from this bit here, okay? So this Ben Jacobs guy got absolutely berated by Manchester United fans because he's been quite honest throughout the process. You know, when you get a story coming out saying Sheikh Jassim's won, he's been quite bringing people back down to earth. So he wouldn't put something out like this because what he's put out is kind of anti what he's been saying before. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's very, very frustrating. Like, as I said on yesterday's video, you get one story saying the sale's over, and then an hour later you get a story saying that it's not. So, yeah, I just think it's really, really difficult, and we do have a bit of a duty of care here, because to come on and for me to say like, oh, 100% the sale is over, I think it's not very I just don't think it's the right thing to do when you have people watching who might like take what you're saying, you know, as literal. And I've always said to you guys that you always have to have your own opinion. Like, you can listen to these journalists, but they contradict themselves. Somebody says one thing, an hour later somebody says something different. But the headline coming out from Ben Jacobs, just to round up this bit of the show really quickly, is the sale process has not been paused. Neither Sheikh Jassim nor Sir Jim Ratcliffe are pulling out, okay? So the sale is in exactly the same place as it was yesterday. I know you've seen stuff on Twitter, you've seen stuff in other places saying the sale is over, blah, 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 but that is not the case. The sale is still in motions. We don't know exactly where it's going to end up, but neither party will be leaving the race. Both of them are still in there. Both of them still want the club. So, yeah, I don't know how you guys all feel about this at the moment. As I said, guys, I'm absolutely sick of talking about this, to be completely honest with you. But I did think it was important because I saw so many people like super, super negative about this. Yeah, right, I'll read out some of your questions as well, guys, in a minute. We've got 20 minutes left of the show, so do make sure to smash a like and subscribe if you're new. We're going to get a poll going as well because yeah, why not? We've hit our likes target, so let's get a poll going. But yeah, if you can all subscribe, that would be really, really appreciated. We're trying to hit 6,000 by the end of this week, so let's see if we can do that, guys. Doesn't cost any money to subscribe, it's completely free. Right. So the poll for the second part of the chat, guys, for the second half of the show is, will the Glazers sell? How is everybody feeling at this exact moment in time? I think they will sell. I do. I honestly think they will sell, guys. I think it will happen. I just think it might take a long time. Ooh. Oh God. Sorry, everyone. Oh. Sorry, everybody. My tea went down the wrong hole. Whew. That's always the worst thing when that happens, isn't it? When the tea goes down the wrong hole, it's really not good. Right. But yeah, get involved in the poll. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it. Right. So guys, just to give you a bit of clarity, okay? The sale of Newcastle United to Saudi Arabia took 18 months. I've just Googled it. 18 months it took from start to finish. I think we've been going for what, 7 or 8 months? So I'm not trying to worry you, but at the end of the day, we've only been going for 7 or 8 months, and Newcastle took 18 months. So yeah, we could still have a long way to go, guys, at the end of the day. Anybody joining late, I will recap everything at the end of the show. Or if you want to watch from the beginning, obviously just start from the beginning. Yeah. If that's what you want to do. I'm not going to kind of repeat everything as we're going along. Yeah, it went down the wrong hole, guys. I do apologize. Oh God. Right, I will read out some of your questions in a minute, guys, as well, so get your questions in, and I will circle back to that. But just to round up that little bit of the show, yeah, I do think the Glazers will sell. I do, but I think it could take a very long time. As I just said, the Newcastle United takeover took 18 months to happen, and we're all sat here saying it's been 8 months. It's been 8 months. Newcastle took 18 months, and let's be real. Mike Ashley, who owned Newcastle, was a very similar person to the Glazers. All he cared about was money. He didn't care about the club. So if you compare those two ones, they're both, potentially selling to a Middle Eastern owner with a lot of money. It took time. So yeah, 8.5 months it's been. Yeah. So, all right. So we've got a question in here. Somebody says, do you think it'll be sold before the first game of the season? Otherwise I can see massive protests against the Glazers. I don't think the club will be sold by the first game of the season. No, I would, obviously I hope it does, but I don't think so. That's another good question. When will the sale actually happen? Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, it could take a long time. It could. So I've kind of gone past the point of counting the months, because it is pointless. As I just said, it took 18 months to sell Newcastle. So what do you really expect? Right, there's a story coming out this morning from Manchester Evening News, so I think we can put this one straight in the trash, but I wanted to bring it into the show anyway really, really quickly to get you guys' opinions. So it's coming out from Manchester Evening News, and they are reporting that Manchester United are apparently interested in signing Federico Chiesa from Juventus. It goes on to say, it is claimed that Juventus are willing to listen to offers for the Italy international and will entertain offers in the region of 50 million euros. How does everybody feel about that? I don't think we'll go for a winger, personally. Like, why would we get a winger at this point? The only way I could see us getting a winger is if Jadon Sancho left the club. So I think we can probably put that one straight in the trash bin, to be completely honest. Let me know in the live chat though, guys, what do you think about that one? Federico Chiesa to Manchester United being reported on the Manchester Evening News this morning. 50 million euros is what they're saying. I think that one goes straight in the trash. I really, really do. Yeah, I think it's trash. There's another bit of a story coming in from about Rasmus Højlund. So it goes on to we've got a bit of an update here on Rasmus, guys. This has come in the last couple of minutes, again from Manchester Evening News. It says Atalanta are furious with the way Rasmus Højlund's representatives are trying to force through a move to Manchester United. Yeah, okay. So apparently Atalanta are angry with the way Rasmus Højlund and his representatives are trying to force through a move to Manchester United. As I said earlier on in the show, apparently Rasmus Højlund's had a meeting with the Atalanta CEO and said that he wants to leave the club ultimately, and he wants to go to his boyhood club, Manchester United. But yeah, this story's just come out from Manchester Evening News that apparently Atalanta are furious with the way Rasmus Højlund's representatives are trying to force a move to Manchester United. I mean, at the end of the day, what do they really expect? Like, I'm not trying to slag off Atalanta, but if you play for Atalanta and you've got Manchester United knocking, like, of course you're going to want to do that, aren't you? Like, who's going to want to stay at Atalanta if Manchester United come knocking? Let's be real. So I'm not really too sure about that one. You know, he hasn't handed in a public transfer request. yes, he's spoken to somebody at the club and said he wants to leave, but what do you really expect? Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, he's a boyhood Manchester United fan. It's his dream to play for Manchester United. So, yeah, do get some of your questions in. I will read them out in a minute. We've got 15 minutes left of the show, guys. So if you haven't liked the video and you haven't subscribed, please do that really, really quickly. Yeah. Hopefully we get a bit more of an update on Højlund this week, but I think we will, guys. I think it will happen. I am very excited about that move. So Steven says we could get a winger if we put Rashford as a striker. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. How does everyone feel about that? Maybe Rashford is going to be played as a striker next season, because even if we get Rasmus Højlund, we've still only got one striker. We can't rely on Anthony Martial, and we have nobody else. So what do we really do? I think Rashford does need to play as a striker next season. I really, really do. What does everyone think about that, though? Let me know in the comments section. Would you be happy if Rashford played as a striker next season, sorry. I personally would. Somebody's asking for the Onana song today. No, we're not going to do the Onana song again this video. We will do it on the video where, you know, we see him in the Manchester United shirt. But at the moment, guys, the Onana song will have to wait until later. So I do apologise for anybody who's joined the stream expecting the Onana song. But I think we will get the official, you know, the pictures of him in the Manchester United shirt later on today, guys, which is exciting. It is. It's always good to see a player in the shirt, isn't it? Right, I'll read out a few of your questions now. Let's have a quick look at the chat. So do get your questions in. So somebody says Nottingham Forest need to pay the money. We can't just let Dean Henderson go to Nottingham Forest on loan. Yeah, 100%, guys. 100%. As I said, Dean Henderson has gone on the plane to America, but I still think he'll leave the club. I really, really do. I don't know when. Hopefully it's in the kind of next couple of weeks, because we need to start reinvesting that money in other positions. We can't just be having players, you know, on that plane taking up time with the manager who aren't part of the plan. Like, they need to just leave. Yeah, obviously Bailly's gone, Tellez has gone, Phil Jones, etc. But we need to get a few more people out very, very quickly. So quite a few people in the chat saying they don't mind him as a false nine. People are saying he needs to play on the wing. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I do agree. Rashford is far better on the wing, but we can't rely on Rasmus Højlund on his own to get us goals next season, I don't think. I think we need another striker, and we're probably not going to get another striker. So it probably does mean that Rashford will have to be as a striker next season, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, it's not his natural position, though, but he did get 30 goals in all competitions, remember? So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. There's a bit of a story coming in. Where has it gone? There was a story coming in, but I just lost it. Okay, so Voice of Reason says, what transfer do you think comes first, Højlund or Amrabat? That's a great question, okay? Let me echo that back to the chat. Who do you think will be Manchester United's next signing? Do you think it will be Amrabat or Rasmus Højlund? That's a really difficult one. I think it will probably be Rasmus Højlund, but from what's been reported today, it seems like we're also negotiating for Amrabat at the same time. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. Who do you think will be our next signing? Do you think it will be Amrabat, or do you think it will be Rasmus Højlund? I think it will probably be Rasmus Højlund, but I think Amrabat will follow quite closely after. My kind of goal, if you like, is that Rasmus Højlund and Amrabat are both into the club by the time we come back from the America tour. So we fly back from America on... the first game back in England is on the 5th of August, okay? So I think we'll have both Amrabat and Rasmus Højlund by then. I don't think they'll go on the America tour, because obviously we've already set off for that. We start on Saturday, but I do think we'll have Rasmus Højlund and Amrabat by the time we play Lens on the 5th of August in, I think it's in England. I mean, it's absolutely mental, guys. We're less than a month away from the Premier League starting. The 14th of August is our first game. We're so close to the Premier League starting now, aren't we? What is it, 3 weeks? Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks on Monday, our first game. Crazy. Bob says, which 3 players would you take from Premier League clubs that you think would strengthen us? That's a great question. I'll echo that back to the chat as well. What 3 players would you guys take from other Premier League clubs? Well, if we're talking about anybody, I'd take Haaland. I'd take... Who else would I take? I'd definitely take Haaland. I'd probably take Kevin De Bruyne and... Not sure. I don't know on the third one. Definitely Haaland and definitely Kevin De Bruyne. and maybe, I'm not sure. I'm quite happy with the rest of our team. Maybe Saka, just because he's young and I think he's got a lot of potential, but I don't know. Right, let's read out a few more questions. Yeah, most of the people are saying Højlund in the chat. I think Højlund will be the next signing. I do agree. I think he'll be the next one to come through the door, but I think Amrabat will closely follow him. I don't think there'll be a massive amount of time between the two signings. So apparently Manchester United will announce the signing of Onana in the next 24 hours, apparently. That's what Laurie Whitwell's reporting, guys. If anybody cares about that, which I don't particularly, because he's already a Manchester United player. He's already signed the contract, so yeah. It's not that exciting anymore, is it, unfortunately? Right, we've got 10 minutes left of the show, guys, so do make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I will read out some of your questions now, as I always do in the last part of the show. So put the letter Q in front of your message, and then I will read out some questions, and we'll do a bit of a kind of interactive part of the show for the last 10 or so minutes. Yeah, let me just double check something quickly. All right, where are we? So yeah, so hopefully we get the confirmation that Bailly's left the club today or in the next couple of days. We don't know where he's going to go, but yeah, he hasn't gone on the tour, so it looks like he will be leaving. And just really, really quickly, guys, I know this isn't the most glamorous bit of news, but still, Charlie Savage looks like he's going to move on loan to Reading. So yeah, that's really positive. Charlie Savage will move to the Championship and play for Reading. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I think that's a good move. He is somebody I quite like. I'm not sure if he's going to make it into the Manchester United first team, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. And really quickly on the goalkeeper situation as well, there's a story coming in last night saying that Manchester United are expected to trigger Zion Suzuki's release clause of 5 million. So it looks like we are going to go for Zion Suzuki, and Matej Kovar will be going out on loan, apparently. He didn't go on the America tour. Matej Kovar will be going out on loan this season. Joshua says, Kieran, are you going to watch the Lionesses in the Women's World Cup? When does it start? To be honest with you, I haven't thought about it. Like, maybe I will. I'm not sure. Are you guys going to watch the World Cup? I probably will watch some of it. I watched like the last few games of the Euros last time, but it's quite difficult to find enough time in the day to like do all the videos, to do my other job, to do, you know, to live normal life, and then to watch like all of the World Cup as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch some of the Women's World Cup. When does it start? Let me have a look. Does it start today? It starts on Saturday. Yeah, I probably will actually. It's at 10:30 in the morning. Yeah, I will. Why not? I'm not going to do a watch long for it though. I won't be doing a watch long for international football. I'm only going to do Manchester United on this channel, guys. I won't be doing any international stuff. It is just a Manchester United channel. But yeah, I will watch that first game. 10:30 in the morning. I can't not watch that, can I? If it was at like 3 in the morning, I definitely wouldn't. But 10:30 a.m. Yeah, I will watch the first game. Right. Somebody says, bro, do you know the deal agreed between the Saudis and the UK government? It helped massively for their takeover. I've got absolutely no idea, to be honest with you, mate. I do know that Qatar and England and the English government and the king and all the rest of it have a really good relationship, though. Like Qatar, I think it was the king of Qatar or whatever was at the coronation, wasn't he? I don't know why they have such a good relationship. I don't know what the historical, reasons are behind it and all the rest of it, but apparently they do. So yeah. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. But from what I've heard in the past, apparently England and Qatar are like quite closely, not like linked, but have some sort of relationship of some sort. Right, let's have a look at your questions. So Gashaya says, how can you let Harry Maguire go for free before debt is cleared and him being an asset against the debt? Yeah, I mean, that's why we don't get rid of players, guys, at the end of the day. That's why we don't get rid of players, because all of the players in Manchester United, right? Harry Maguire is classed as an £80 million asset, which is like against the debt that Manchester United owe. So, yeah. At the end of the day, until a new owner comes in and clears that debt, we're not going to see people like Harry Maguire being let go for free. Like, it won't happen, ever. So as much as we can want stuff like that to happen, that's why people end up staying at the club, because on Manchester United's books, Harry Maguire is an £80 million asset. He's not worth £80 million. He's probably worth, what, like 10? But for whatever reason, because we paid that for him, Manchester United can put on their books that he's worth £80 million, which is absolutely ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. But it is what it is. Miles says, United is very, very sick up front in scoring all chances. Chances will be created, but who will finish? We need a sharp striker. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I do worry about like goals next season, because we massively struggled last year with goals. We really, really did. I think we only scored like 50 goals in the Premier League. It was one of the lowest out of all the teams. We really, really struggled to score. Our defence was super, super solid, but overall, yeah, we didn't look particularly good going forward, in my opinion. We really, really struggled. So we need a striker. We need Rasmus Højlund, and it might not even work, but let's hope it does work. I'm keeping my fingers and toes possible. So Manchester Heat Cowboy says, is it possible that the Glazers were using the prospect of a sale to calm protest? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think they genuinely were looking for financial investment of some sort, 100%, because at the end of the day, guys, they don't have the money. They don't have the money to build the stadium. They don't have the money for Carrington. They don't have the money to blah, blah, blah. Like, Manchester United don't have the money. So that's why they were looking for investment. John says, if or when Onana is available for important games, who is a viable backup? That's a great question. It is. I mean, Dean Henderson can't be the backup goalkeeper because he obviously did not want to do that. So I guess it would be the Sion Suzuki guy, which does sound a bit crazy, to be honest, to have your backup goalkeeper as this 20-year-old person who's only ever played in the Japanese league. But I assume Ten Hag has a plan. Yeah, quite weird. What have we got? A few more questions. Stefan says, do you think we all freak out about transfers and club sale because we're a massive club and the newspapers and fan channels just chat about us every day, so it feels like it drags on? Not really sure, to be honest. I mean, we are linked to all of these players, you know, so yeah, it's not like we're on here talking about Neymar to Manchester United or something. It's like Amrabat and Rasmus Højlund are two people who realistically we probably will sign, and Bailly probably will sell. So I don't know what generally channels talk about. If people are talking about we're going to sign Messi, then obviously, yeah, that's just complete rubbish. But yeah. Noel asking about Kovar. We did speak about Kovar earlier on in the show, mate. So just if you just rewind back to the beginning, we talked about it a couple of times. So Robert says, don't you agree that some of these assets have become liabilities? Yeah, 100%. But it's just how the financial fair play thing works and how the debt thing works. Because we're in so much debt, Harry Maguire is an £80 million asset on our books. So whether we think he needs to leave or not, there's more to it than that. Like, Manchester United need to get money for him, otherwise it's a massive issue with their books, etc. So Liam says, I wonder what the Glazers' next plan is. That's a great question. What does everybody think the Glazers' next plan is? I don't think they'll sell whilst the tour's going on. I think I think that I honestly don't know. I think it will rumble on and on and on and on. I do. I think they'll try and get through this transfer window. I think they'll go into the season thinking everything will be all right. There'll be protests every single home game. They'll get worse and worse and worse and worse. Eventually, games will start being called off, and then hopefully they go. That's the path I see this happening. It's not going to be a smooth one, in my opinion. I think they'll definitely be here on the first game of the season against Wolves. I think there'll be protests on that first game. Probably a lot of people will protest. People will walk out of the ground. You know, the ground will be half empty. And then it will keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse until all of the home games end up being cancelled. That's what I think will happen. If that doesn't then work, then we're screwed, okay? That's how I see it. If that works, then great. If it doesn't work, then yeah. At the end of the day, guys, the Glazers don't care. They live in America. They're not here. You're not really affecting them. The people have already paid the money for the ticket. So if you pay 50 quid for a Manchester United ticket, right, and then you say, I'm not going to go in, I'm going to stand outside. They don't care. They've already got your money. So I don't really... Do you see what I mean? Like, you can go and protest, but if you've already paid the 50 quid for the ticket and then you decide to stand outside, as good as that is, as good as it is to get your voice across, they've still got your 50 quid. So I don't know. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Somebody asking about how they can share an article with me. If anybody wants to like send us messages or wants to get in contact, we do have Twitter. I don't really plug it that much because I can't really be bothered with Twitter, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know how you feel about Twitter, but I'll put a link to our Twitter in the chat, guys. So if you are on Twitter, go and give us a follow. If you ever want to send me a message or you want to get in contact, you can send direct message via the Twitter that I've just put in the live chat. So yeah, go and follow us on Twitter, and if you want to get in contact, that's the best way to do it. Right, this feels like a good place to wrap up the show, guys. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe on your way out. It doesn't cost any money. We will, of course, be back live at 6 p.m. UK time this evening for another 1 hour long show. If anything breaks between now and the end of the show, of course, between now and the end of the day, of course, we will go live. If we get the official pictures of Onana, we will go live. So do make sure you hit the notification bell when you subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys later. Lots of love. Peace out. An amazing show this morning. We had over 650 people watching. What a great show it was. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, do smash the like button on your way out, and I'll speak to you guys later. Lots of love. Peace out.